My name is Reverend Shelley Walker. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm wondering where they hid the Kleenex. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is a different kind of day. I just finished ministerial school, and I completed my panels this week, and this is our installation as your minister. And I have to start with just a couple of thank yous. They gave me 10 minutes, so I only have 10 pages of notes. So don't worry. I have to start with a few thank yous. I have to start by thanking my first teacher, Reverend Sally Rudis. That's a story for another day, but it will be told. I have to thank the great Reverend Dr. Noel McGinnis, who was my first mentor. Reverend Dr. David Alexander, who saw what I was capable of long before I did. Thank you, David. My inspiration, not just on Sundays, but every day of the week, Reverend Shannon O'Hurley. My family, who show me such grace that it teaches me, even me, patience, and you, this community, our practitioners, our staff, and you, whether you have been here for 40 years, we'll need to do that math one day, Reverend Sally, or for 4 minutes. You belong here and you are part of what makes this community truly great. And I wanted to take a minute to tell you about why you are my why. I thought that was an important conversation for us to have today as I truly begin to serve you in a different way. I wanted to tell you a story. My husband just heard this story for the first time yesterday, so most of you don't know this. I wanted to tell you about the first time I was called to be a minister. I was 7 years old, and I grew up in an evangelical community, and one of my favorite things was in the summers we would do tent revivals. They would pitch a big old tent and put out benches. And there was a day long, I was 7, it felt like it was a whole day. Maybe it was just an hour, but I doubt it. And I remember sitting on the very front pew bench, rough wooden bench. I remember sitting there looking up at that man. And I said to myself, that's what I want to do. That's it. I want to be up there. And then right on the heels of that was the thought, but I can't because I'm a girl. 20 years later, I discovered a new thought, and I found out that girls can do some pretty darn amazing things. A world of possibility opened before me, and I kept getting nudges to go to ministerial school, but life had its way with me, and I waited and I waited and I waited, and then one day, it was December 22nd, 2022, and someone who I admired greatly, someone who I had watched be a brilliant, bright light in the world, mentoring and supporting others, and a true artist in his craft, died by suicide. His name was Twitch. Some of you might recognize that name. And for some reason, it floored me. I was just sad, and I had a sense of helplessness. Not hopelessness, but helplessness. And I thought, I really need to do something to make this world a kinder place for our artists, for our sensitive souls. And I want you to know that I sat in prayer for a full week. A full week I sat in prayer. Should I be a psychiatrist? I'm a darn good counselor. Should I write more books? Maybe that's what I should do. I really questioned what is mine to do. And at the end of that week, it was very clear to me what had been clear to some of you for a while. And I started ministerial school the following month, and here I am. The thing that brought me to ministerial school at last, 40 some odd years after getting the first call to that, was getting really clear about the best thing that I could do to help make the world a kinder, more loving, and humane place was to be a minister. That's my why. And I don't tell you this story, I tell you this story because I want you to know who I am as I start to serve you at this higher level. But I also just want to invite you to think about your why. Because when we're really clear about our why, it gives us kind of a yardstick for our values. And our values inform our behavior. And our behavior is what changes the world. So being really clear about our why is a really powerful way to move in the world. So this is my why: to be a midwife for the awakening of humanity. To help us all, myself included, but to help us all live from a place of compassion and to become the place where love is made form, where love is made manifest, to become a portal for love to have its way in the world. This is my why. And this really came fully home to me. At ministerial school, the very last thing that I did at ministerial school, we had a retreat. And at the end of the retreat, I looked around this room at my fellow students, at my fellow faculty, and I'll be 100% honest with you because I'm me. I didn't always like everybody in that room. I'm human. I'm allowed to have preferences, Craig Benelli. I see you over there with big eyes. He's like, wait, what? And my last feeling in that circle looking at those faces was, I wish I could go back to the beginning and love them better. And in that moment, I realized that that's me for you. From this moment forward, my sole desire is just to love you better. And what I have learned about love is no matter how much you give, there's no depletion in it. I am never depleted. The love is never depleted. Love is the most powerful thing. So you are my why. And my what is to just love you better. And the thing that, the thing I want to remind you of is that in this love, all things are possible. We are going to do some amazing things together, Reverend Shannon and you and I. We have a beautiful, beautiful existence to explore together and discover what Spirit would have for us. So remember that this love goes before us to make the crooked places straight. Remember that it is this love that dreamed you into being. Remember, when all else fails, love always wins. Always. Reverend Shannon taught us that. So today, being a very special day, Reverend Shannon and I are sharing this time together. And so I just want to close with a very heartfelt Thank you. Thank you for showing up so that I have a place to show up and grow in. I wouldn't be here. I literally couldn't be here without you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And now I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Shannon.
To be on any team with Reverend Shelley Walker is a dream. So if you have been around here for any length of time, you know that I believe in angels. I've taught classes, I've written workshops about this. It's big in my life. I believe in angels in all of their many forms. They show up in countless ways, through lines in music, that one line in a book, or that you hear in a class or a movie, a bird in the sky, or that butterfly or dragonfly on the flower on your porch at just that moment when you needed confirmation about the thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? So, angels arrive as synchronicities, as aha moments, as an inner nudge to turn left or right. They show up as realizations in meditation, in prayer, and they also show up through us, as us. One of life's greatest blessings is that we get to be angels for each other. You've heard me say this so many times. And this is the continuing and always invitation for all of us. And Rev Shelley has certainly been an angel in my life and in the lives of many of you here and those of you online. The way she listens, the way she speaks with love, the way she tells the truth so gently and yet with so much power. The way she shows up with presence and compassion. It's all angel work. And if you've known Rev Shelley at all, you can probably recall a time when her words in a talk or a class, her smile or her compassionate silence, which she's really good at, trust me, came at just the right moment. That is how Spirit works, through the divine mystery of the celestial and through everyday humanness. In a moment, we will each have the opportunity to be an angel in Rev Shelley's life. I will get to that in a moment. But first, I want to share something. So a while back, I reached out and I invited an angel among us, one of our artists in residence, Tracy Cronin. Where are you, Tracy? Where are you? Where are you? There she is, Tracy Cronin, who is a potter. And I asked her to create a custom design bowl that Rev Shelley could keep on her desk at home. Rev Shelley's eyes, she didn't know about this. Her eyes are like... And Shell, so you know, Tracy even reached out to Michael Walker, who is Rev Shelley's husband, and asked what your favorite colors are. And she created this beautiful bowl. I'm going to ask practitioner Nettie to come over here. And I want to just show you. Thank you. So this is the bowl. Can you see? I don't know if you can get a shot of this, Shayla, but I want to show you all around the side, it looks like water. Shelley, how many Pisces? You've got like 5 Pisces in your chart. It's the color of the sea. It represents water and the flow of life. And if you look at the inside, if you can see, there's this beautiful pattern. It almost looks like a church steeple. And it's all along the side of this bowl. And Tracy explained to me that that is meant to represent our community. All of us here, all of you online. And in the center here is the sacred symbol of the spiral, which is in our logo. For those of you who may not know, The spiral was an ancient, beautiful art form. You see it artistically drawn everywhere in the ancient world, from India to Ireland, and everything in between. And a spiral in the ancient world meant spiritual evolution, spiritual growth, because it continues. And it spirals inward to the heart and then back outward again to the world. And so this is made for Shelley specifically for a ritual that we are going to engage in together. The Sufi teacher and mystic Hazrat Inayat Khan wrote, "Each human being carries within them the potential of an angel, and when they bring joy and comfort to others, they become that angel." And so we are going to become that for Shelley. One of the ways that we show up as angels is through the energy of blessing. A blessing is simply a word or a phrase of encouragement, a reminder of Spirit's presence. You know, if I sneeze somewhere, if I'm, I don't know, at the grocery store and I sneeze and someone says, "Bless you," I'm like, "Thank you." You know what it just feels so nice. It's that, and we've been doing that for a very long time, blessing each other in that socially acceptable way, you know? And if I'm somewhere and someone else sneezes, it doesn't matter if it's across the store, "Bless you!" It doesn't matter where I am, even, you know, a stall in the ladies' room, I will say, "I bless you." Theologian Reverend Barbara Brown Taylor wrote, "That we are willing to bless one another is miracle enough to stagger the very stars." That we are willing to bless one another is miracle enough to stagger the very stars. My friends, it takes a village to raise a minister, and it also takes a village to lovingly support a minister. So here is what we are going to do. In support of our newest NTCSL minister, so glad you're on the team. And this includes all of you watching from home. We are each going to create an angel card for Rev Shelley by writing a short affirmative blessing that she will return to again and again. And those of you in person, you received, I do believe, one of these cards when you came in. If you didn't, and there isn't one in front of you in the pew, just raise your hand and one of our ushers will come right on by. Also, if you need a pen, this would be a great time to raise your hand and they will support you in that way as well. I want to make sure you all have those. And those of you online, hang tight. I've got instructions for you as well and how you're going to participate too in this. So these cards are small. They're intentionally small. This is meant to be kept simple. Please do not sign your name. Just write a blessing. And it might even just be a single word: grace, strength, joy, peace. It might be a short phrase: Spirit guides you this day, or love is your companion, or the light of God surrounds you. Whatever you feel called, whatever blessing you would like to give Shelley, I'm going to ask you in a moment to write that on the card. And each morning as Rev Shelley sits down to her spiritual practice, she will draw a card from this beautiful bowl and receive your words of love. And in this way, we get to be the angel that helps start her day with loving truth and encouragement. And for our online community, I invite you to please type your word or phrase of blessing into the chat. Two of our practitioners will be over there in the back, and they are going to be transcribing your blessing onto one of these cards, and they will be placing it into that bowl on your behalf. And if you happen to be watching the TV right now, I'm going to invite you to grab your phone or your computer and just open up the YouTube channel. If you're not yet subscribed, just tap subscribe. It just simply allows you to type into the chat box. And that way you can put your blessing in. And if for some reason you're not able to do that today, or you're watching later in the week or listening to this later in the week, there is another way that you can give Rev Shelley your blessing, and that is I'm going to invite you to email your blessing to office@newthoughtcsl.org. Again, that's office@newthoughtcsl.org with the subject line, Rev Shelley's blessing, or something like that. And our office manager, Carolyn, will make sure that it's added to her bowl. So everyone in the community is included. Let us stagger the stars. Let us be angels for Rev Shelley by surrounding her ministry with blessings that she can carry into every season ahead. And so now I'm going to invite Rev Shelley's daughter, Faith Walker, back up here. And by the way, Faith flew here from college, from Southern California, to celebrate with her mama. And so I'm going to invite you to begin to write your blessing. And again, this should be fairly quick. It's meant to be succinct and simple. This is our gift to Rev Shelley. And I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward. They are going to guide you so that each row, we're going to go row by row from the front row and make our way to the back row. Each of you can come up here and you can place your blessing in Shelley's bowl.
Love is a movement. Love is a revolution. This is redemption. We don't have to slow back The stars are alive, they dance to the music of the deepest emotion, and all of the world is singing in time as the heavens are caving in mysterious ways where God gave us life to put motion inside my soul, bigger than cold religion. It's bigger than life. Love is the movement. Love is a revolution. This is redemption. is a revolution. This is a revolution. Love is the movement. Love is a revolution. This is redemption. We don't have to slow back down.
Oh, love is the revolution, and we're here for it. So, thank you all for participating in this. Thank you those online. Thank you those of you who will be bestowing your blessings for our beloved Rev Shelley. So now we get to the formal part. So I'm going to invite all the practitioners to come on up, and Rev Shelley, you too, darling. Come on here, darling. Deep breath. So, thank you, Michael. Ministers, board of trustees, licensed practitioners in your clergy white, why don't you come on this? Yeah, there we go. Bring it on down, y'all. Bring it on down. We're going to support Shell. Practitioners, students, beloved congregation here and online, and friends of NTCSL. We are gathered in sacred community on this extraordinary day to witness and celebrate the official installation of Reverend Shelley Walker as the Associate Minister of the New Thought Center for Spiritual Living. Official notification has been received by the Centers for Spiritual Living in Denver, Colorado, affirming that Reverend Shelley Walker has been duly chosen to serve in this sacred office among us. Every minister of New Thought first answers the call through the spiritual training of practitioner studies. It is through daily prayer, practice, and service that one prepares to step into the calling of ministry. Today, we honor that lineage, that sacred preparation, and the presence of spirit that has guided Rev Shelley to this threshold moment in her life. In this new role, Rev Shelley will continue to minister to the spiritual needs of our community. She now takes on the mantle of Director of Education, Marketing, and Stewardship, as well as continuing her role as lead faculty for our practitioner program and Sunday platform director. Beloved community, across every tradition and every age, there are moments that mark the crossing of a threshold. Moments when one says yes to the sacred trust. Today is such a moment, and we get to witness it. These promises are not made lightly. They are vows of the heart. Rev Shelley, oh, I love saying that. I have bit my tongue for so long. Okay. The following vows you are about to make are both a charge and a blessing, affirming your call to serve as our associate minister. Please respond with "I do." And all of you here and online, open your hearts and witness this. Rev Shelley, do you promise to hold our New Thought spiritual principles as truth and to live your ministry as the sacred and holy practice it is meant to be?
I do.
Do you promise to reflect the divine spirit in your words, your actions, and your daily life?
I do.
Do you promise to recognize the divine presence within every person and at the heart of every situation, reflecting back this spiritual truth always with love?
I do.
Do you promise to minister faithfully and lovingly to our New Thought community, doing your best to be an example of spiritual alignment, compassion, and loving kindness?
I do.
My dear Rev Shelley, may the infinite spirit of love empower you to do all these things and more. May the indwelling grace within you pour forth as strength, courage, and joy, enabling you to faithfully and lovingly live your sacred calling and carry the vision and mission of our beloved NTCSL community out into the world. One of the sacred rites of passage for a newly licensed minister is the receiving of the ministerial stole. The stole is more than a garment. It is an outward sign of your inward calling, a symbol of the yoke of service, and a reminder that you do not walk this path alone. Our cherished practitioner Sangha, who have held you in prayer and walked beside you on your journey to this very moment, have lovingly gifted you with your new ministerial stole. Rev Shelley, may your ministerial stole, with its symbols of inclusivity, shared spirituality, and oneness, serve as a living reminder of Spirit's presence in the blessing of this community and the sacred call you have answered this day. Thanks, Jen. Knowing that Rev Shelley will continue to teach, to heal, and to minister to all who seek her wisdom, I affirm, if I can see through my tears, that the God of peace and unconditional love leads her way, and that her service will bless not only this community, but the greater world. And so as the community spiritual leader of the New Thought Center for Spiritual Living, and as your senior minister, it is with great joy and profound honor that I, by the authority vested in me through the Centers of Spiritual Living in Colorado, on behalf of our beloved congregation, do now install you, Reverend Shelley Walker, as our associate minister with all the rights, privileges, and sacred responsibilities of this holy office. Friends and beloveds, please stand as you are able in love and joy, and help me welcome Reverend Shelley Walker as our new associate minister.